everybody, it's Mr. B. Nice to see you again. Gonna do another quick drawing today. We can do this at home. This is another one that you probably don't even need any help. You could do this by yourself. If you do need help, brother or sister, they could probably help you, mom or dad too, but probably easy enough that you can do yourself. So we have been talking in the past about shapes. You need shapes. You put different shapes together and you create new shapes and new drawings. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some shapes, put them together, and create an easy drawing that we can color in. And thank you, by the way, for sending me your pictures. I really appreciate that. I've gotten a lot of them. You guys have been doing a great job, and I'm super proud of everybody out there who's been doing these. Very fun to see your work come back to me. I appreciate that. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a horizontal drawing. We talked a little bit about vertical and horizontal. I'm going to do a horizontal drawing today just because what I'm going to draw is a little bit wider than it is tall, so it'll fit on the space or on the page a little bit better. I'm using a whiteboard. You guys hopefully have some paper at home and some colored pencils and crayons and things like that that you can use. If you do have a whiteboard, you can do it on a whiteboard, but probably more fun to color it in if it's on a piece of paper when you're done. You can use crayons, colored pencils, markers, things like that to make it look amazing when you're finished. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the shape of an oval. An oval is like if you took a ball and you squished it, right? That's the shape of an oval. Everybody knows the oval, so I'm going to draw an oval here. That's just about the size of my fist, okay, of my hand. So when you go to draw yours, try and see if you can put your hand down, because that'll make it big enough to make a good drawing. If you make it too small, tiny, you won't really be able to see it. If you make it too big, we won't have enough room to fit everything on the picture. So I like to use it about the size of my fist. Okay? It's not tracing my fist, it's just an oval, but it's about that size. So here we have the oval. Now I'm gonna add two triangles to this oval. I'm gonna tweak the triangles a little bit. Instead of just making them straight triangles, bump, 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 or bump, 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 you know, I'm gonna actually kind of bend and move the triangles a little bit. So instead of doing a shape like this, I'm gonna do a shape a little bit more like this. Now there's one side, two sides, three sides, so it's still kind of like a triangle, but instead of it being straight, it's got a little bit of a curve to it. Look what I found, my eraser. Okay, so right here on the front of the oval, I'm gonna put a little bit of that kind of curvy triangle. And on the back, I'm gonna do the same thing, only I'm gonna turn it a little bit upside down. Okay? So these still have 1, 2, 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, like a triangle, but I'm kind of moving them around a little bit. It's a little bit tricky, but I know you can do it. Now, because I found my eraser, I don't have to use my sweatshirt again, I'm going to erase this guy a little bit. And now we end up with one shape. Instead of a triangle, an oval, and another kind of curvy triangle, we actually have one weird shape that we've created. And we're going to use this shape to create a dinosaur. And right now it doesn't look like anything but something weird. It almost looks like Baby Yoda, doesn't it? So instead of making a Baby Yoda, we are going to add another oval here as the head. I'm going to erase a little bit and connect it. Okay. So now we have the head of the dinosaur, we have the tail of the dinosaur, we have the body of the dinosaur. I'm also going to add two squares. So we have an oval, two sort of triangular shapes, another tiny oval, and we're going to add two squares right here. Here's one square, here's the other square. Okay. Those are going to act as the dinosaur's feet. I love to do this little trick. If you use the letter L, sometimes we use letters. Like, Mr. B, why using letters? This isn't writing class. But if you use the letter L behind those squares that we just put as the feet, letter L, it actually makes it look like the dinosaur is a little more three-dimensional, because now you can see 4 feet instead of 2 feet. And then just do a little bit of erasing to connect the feet to the body. And now we've got a dinosaur with 4 feet and kind of floating in space. We talked about how If we add one thing, it changes them from floating to being grounded, and that is the horizon line. So we're going to add a horizon line right now. I'm going to add a horizon line. Now this is where the sky meets the ground. So here's the sky now, and here's the ground. So now our dinosaur went from floating in space to actually sitting on the ground. Okay. Pretty simple drawing so far. Now is kind of the fun part. You guys get to do what you want to do to your dinosaur. You can add all kinds of different things to him. Sometimes when I'm doing my dinosaur, whoa, watch out for that. Sometimes when I'm doing my dinosaur, I like to add spikes on his back. And I like to start up here at the head with tiny spikes. And as I get towards his back, I get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then as they go towards his tail, they start to get smaller again. So now my dinosaur has some spikes on his back. Of course, I'm going to add a face to my dinosaur. Maybe he's in a good mood today, so maybe he's smiling. You can make any kind of mouth you wanted. And we talked about the eyes. Maybe you have a way you like to draw your eyes, or if you just wanted to use dots, you can use dots. So I'm just going to use little dots right there for his eyes today. Maybe a little nose. I don't like that mouth. I'm going to change that mouth. Maybe my dinosaur is roaring. So I have maybe an open mouth with his teeth maybe hanging out now. Okay. All right. So, dinosaur, ground, sky. We can add a background now, right? Foreground, middle ground, background. Or here's the foreground, middle ground, and background. In the background, I'm going to put some clouds. And I think I'm probably going to put some mountains. And a lot of times when I do my dinosaurs, I like to put volcanoes. We did a volcano, I think, with the dog drawing. But it's always fun to have lava shooting everywhere, so I'll probably draw a little bit more. So there's a volcano. There's my dinosaur, a couple clouds in the sky. I also like to, maybe the dinosaur, he was hungry or thirsty, and he was over at the lake. So maybe I draw a little bit of a lake here, which is kind of another one of those blobby shapes. It's not a circle, it's not a square, it's not a triangle, it's just kind of a random shape that we draw. But it looks like there's some water there. He's reaching out to get a drink. There's some water there. We still have a lot of space down here. We still have some space up here. Now is where you can be as creative as you want. A lot of times I like to say, well, you know, there's no baseball right now, and miss watching the Pirates and miss watching the Penguins and the Steelers and all that stuff, but maybe this is a couple months ago, this drawing, and maybe he was going to a baseball game, so sometimes I put a baseball hat on my guy. He's a big old Pirates fan, so he's got his Pirates hat on. Maybe he's wearing some sunglasses. Right, he's got some sunglasses on. Maybe instead of walking to the baseball game, maybe he roller skated to the baseball game, who knows? So this is the part you can add whatever you want. If you wanted to add a snake, if you wanted to add anything else, you could. I've got a great idea. You know what we could do? We could add our good buddy. Where did he go today? There he is. It's Ninja. Hey, Ninja. Me and Ninja have not been fighting recently. We've been very good friends. Created a very new friendship, and Ninja has decided that art is one of his favorite things. So instead of us going on epic battles, right like we used to do, now we've been doing lots of cool drawings. So Ninja, I thought maybe I could draw you in the... He's blushing. He's blushing. Don't be shy, Ninja. So maybe I'll draw Ninja in the foreground of my drawing. There's Ninja. Look, Ninja, it's you, buddy. Ha-ha! Okay, so whatever you want to put in your drawing, you can. This is probably the part that if we were in a classroom, I would sit down with you. Whoa, holy smokes, what's going on? If we were in the classroom, I would probably sit down with you guys and we would start to color with crayons or colored pencils or markers or something like that, pastels. So this is probably a good time for you, especially if you're working on paper, to sit down, get out the crayons or the colored pencils or the markers, and then start doing some cool coloring. You could have a rainbow colored dinosaur, you could have a blue dinosaur. It really doesn't matter. This part's up to you. Anything that you want, your imagination is the only thing stopping you right now. I appreciate you spending some more time with me, and I'm glad that we had a quick little lesson to do today, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have another one up for you, and maybe in the driveway with some chalk if the weather holds up. But for Ninja and for myself, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Keep sending those pictures. I'm really enjoying seeing them, and I'm super proud of everybody out there. You guys have been doing a really, really good job, so thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye, guys.